First light. Dr. Maya Chen stood at the observation deck of Research Station Omega, her dark eyes fixed on the endless expanse of the Kuiper Belt stretching before her. Chunks of ice and rock drifted past the reinforced windows like cosmic dancers in the void. After 15 years of studying alien artifacts, most of them fragments that could fit in her palm, she had finally found something that validated her controversial theories, something massive. The object hung against the backdrop of stars, its surface a patchwork of materials that defied conventional classification. Nearly 3 kilometers long, it had remained hidden in plain sight, masquerading as just another chunk of space debris, until Maya's specialized sensors detected its anomalous energy signature. The scientific community had dismissed her theories about pre-human civilizations in the solar system as career suicide. Now she allowed herself a small smile. They wouldn't be able to ignore this. Dr. Chen called out Dr. James Rodriguez, her research partner, and the only other xenorchaeologist willing to risk their reputation by joining her expedition. The preliminary scans are complete. You're going to want to see this. Maya turned from the window, her movements careful in the station's minimal gravity. The holographic display at the center of the room sparkled to life, revealing layer upon layer of the object's internal structure. What had appeared as a derelict from the outside was anything but dead. "It's not just a ship," James said, his voice barely containing his excitement. It's like nothing we've ever seen. The energy readings suggest dormant systems, not dead ones. And look at this." He gestured to a particular section of the scan, where complex patterns of light seemed to pulse through the vessel's framework. "Quantum circuitry," Maya breathed. "Still intact after. How long has it been here?" "Based on the cosmic ray exposure dating, at least 3 million years. James ran a hand through his graying hair. "Maya, this predates human civilization by orders of magnitude. This changes everything we thought we knew about our solar system's history." Maya moved closer to the hologram, her fingers tracing the intricate patterns in the air. "We need to board it. The UN Space Council won't approve an expedition," James warned. "They'll want years of remote study first. You know how they operate." Maya's jaw set in a determined line. "We don't have years. Look at these energy fluctuations. They're increasing. Whatever this ship is, it's waking up. We need to understand it before it fully activates." Before James could respond, the station's AI chimed in. "Dr. Chen, incoming priority transmission from Earth. It's the Council." The hologram shifted, replacing the ship's schematics with the stern face of Director Sarah Pottle of the UN Space Council. "Dr. Chen, our sensors have detected unauthorized scanning activity in your sector. Please explain." Maya straightened, squaring her shoulders. "Director, we've discovered something unprecedented. An alien vessel, intact, with active systems. This could be the most significant discovery in human history. Your mandate was to catalog debris, Dr. Chen, not to engage with potentially dangerous alien technology. Stand down immediately. A security team is already en route to assume control of the situation." "With all due respect, Director, we don't have time for bureaucratic procedures. The vessel is showing signs of reactivation. We need to understand it now, before." The station shuddered, cutting Maya off mid-sentence. The lights flickered, and alarms began to wail. "What's happening?" Director Peddle demanded. James was already at the sensor console. "This ship, it's generating some kind of field. Our systems are being affected. Director, we're losing." The transmission cut off abruptly. Maya rushed to the window. The alien vessel was now surrounded by a subtle blue glow, its surface beginning to shift and change like liquid metal. Patterns of light raced across its hull, forming complex geometries that seemed to bend space itself. "Maya," James called out, his voice tense. "The ship's field is expanding. It'll reach us in less than 5 minutes." She made her decision in an instant. "Prep the research shuttle. We need to reach that ship before the security team arrives." "That's career suicide," James protested, even as he began gathering their equipment. Our careers were already over the moment we detected this thing, Maya replied, pulling on her EVA suit. But this is what we've spent our lives preparing for. The answers to humanity's biggest questions could be on that ship. As they rushed to the shuttle bay, Maya's mind raced with possibilities. The ship's design, its technology, its purpose. Everything about it suggested a level of advancement far beyond anything humanity had achieved. But it was the timing of its activation that troubled her most. Why now? After millions of years of dormancy, what had triggered its awakening? The research shuttle detached from Station Omega just as the blue field reached its outer hull. Their instruments went haywire, but the shuttle systems remained functional. As they approached the massive vessel, Maya noticed something that hadn't been visible from the station. Symbols were appearing on the hull, glowing with an inner light. "James, are you recording this?" "Everything," he confirmed. "Maya, these symbols, they're similar to the fragments we found on Mars last year." She nodded, her heart racing. The ones nobody believed were real. The symbols had suggested an ancient civilization had visited Mars, but the evidence had been too fragmentary to prove anything. Now, those same symbols were coming to life before their eyes. As they drew closer, a section of the hull began to transform, creating what appeared to be a docking port perfectly sized for their shuttle. It was an invitation they couldn't refuse. "This could be a trap," James said softly. "Or it could be first contact with the beings who shaped our solar system," Maya countered. "Either way, humanity needs to know." The shuttle's autopilot suddenly engaged, guided by an unseen force toward the docking port. Maya felt a profound sense of destiny as they approached. Whatever waited inside that ship, she knew humanity's understanding of its place in the universe was about to change forever. The docking clamps engaged with a soft thud, and a new symbol appeared on the hull beside them. One that Maya had seen before, in her dreams, and in fragments scattered across the solar system. It was the symbol she had spent her career trying to understand, and now it glowed before her, as if welcoming her home. "Ready?" she asked James, checking her suit's seals one final time. He nodded, gathering their scientific equipment. "Let's make history." As they prepared to board, Maya couldn't shake the feeling that the ship hadn't just awakened. It had been waiting for the right moment, the right people, or perhaps something else entirely. Whatever the truth, she was determined to discover it, no matter the cost. The airlock cycled, and humanity took its first step into a legacy 3 million years in the making. The awakening. The interior of the ancient vessel defied every expectation. Maya and James moved through corridors that seemed to reshape themselves as they passed, their helmet lights revealing surfaces that shifted between solid metal and something that resembled liquid crystal. The air their suits detected was breathable, maintained by systems that had somehow survived millions of years of dormancy. "This architecture," James whispered, his voice filled with awe. "It's organic. The whole ship is alive." Maya's handheld scanner beeped steadily, recording energy signatures that made no sense according to known physics. "Not just alive," she corrected. "It's evolving. Look at these readings. The systems aren't just reactivating. They're adapting to our presence." They reached what appeared to be a central chamber, its walls lined with crystalline structures that pulsed with soft light. At the center stood a pillar of the same liquid metal as the hull, but this one moved with purpose, forming and reforming complex patterns that seemed almost like writing. Maya approached the pillar, her scientific caution warring with an inexplicable sense of familiarity. The symbols she had spent her career studying were here, but they were different, alive, changing, telling a story she could almost understand. A sudden surge of energy rippled through the chamber. The crystalline structures flared brilliantly, and a voice echoed through their suits' communication systems, not in words, but in pure concepts that somehow translated themselves in their minds. "Genetic profile confirmed. Legacy candidate identified." James grabbed Maya's arm. "Did you?" Yes, she breathed. It's talking to us, or to me. The pillar of liquid metal flowed outward, forming a three-dimensional display that filled the chamber. Stars, galaxies, and vast structures appeared around them, a map of not just space, but time itself. At its center was an image of Earth, but not as they knew it. This was Earth as it had been millions of years ago, when another civilization had called it home. We were the Starweavers. The voice that wasn't a voice continued. We seeded the cosmos with the potential for life, guided evolution across 1,000 worlds. Earth was to be our greatest achievement, a world where we would guide a species to inherit our legacy. What happened? Maya asked, though she suspected she already knew. The map showed a darkness spreading across the galaxy, consuming everything in its path. The void came, a force of entropy that sought to undo our work, to return the cosmos to primordial chaos. We fought, but could not prevail. Our only hope was to hide seeds of our knowledge, to preserve our legacy until those we had chosen could rise to claim it. Chosen? James interjected. You mean humans. We shaped your distant ancestors, planted the potential within your genetic code. But you were meant to discover this place later, when you had achieved greater unity and understanding. The chamber trembled. Outside, they could hear the distant sound of docking clamps engaging. The security team, James said urgently. They're here. Maya faced the pillar. Why did you wake up now? Why reveal yourself before we were ready? The map shifted, showing a massive object moving through the outer solar system, hidden from Earth's current detection systems. The void returns. Our ancient enemy has sensed your civilization's growth. You are not ready, but you no longer have the luxury of time. Multiple alarms blared through their suits. Maya, James called out, checking his tablet. The security team is cutting through the outer airlock. We have maybe 10 minutes. The pillar flowed again, forming a complex device that hovered in the air before Maya. This is the key to awakening this vessel's full potential, the Starweaver's crown. It requires a human consciousness to interface with our systems, to complete the bridge between your species and our technology. Maya reached for the device, but James caught her hand. Wait, this could be dangerous. We don't know what interfacing with alien tech will do to a human mind. We don't have a choice, Maya replied, her voice firm. If what it's showing us is true, something is coming that could destroy Earth, destroy humanity. We need this ship, need to understand what we're facing. The sound of boots on metal echoed through the corridors. The security team was inside. Choose now, a ship urged. Once the connection is made, it cannot be undone. Maya took a deep breath. If I do this, will you help us protect Earth? We will teach you to protect yourselves. That was always our intention. She reached out and took the device. It flowed around her head like a crown of liquid starlight, and suddenly her consciousness expanded. The ship's systems flooded into her mind, not as raw data, but as intuitive understanding. She could feel every circuit, every quantum pathway, every particle of the vast vessel's being. Maya, James called out, his voice distant. Maya, they're almost here. She opened her eyes, which now shimmered with the same light as the ship's crystals. It's all right, she said, her voice overlaid with harmonics that made the air itself vibrate. I understand now. The security team burst into the chamber, weapons raised, but Maya raised her hand and reality rippled. The team froze in place as the ship's gravitational fields responded to her thoughts. Dr. Chen, the team leader's voice crackled through their suits. By authority of the UN Space Council, you are ordered to stand down and surrender this vessel for quarantine. Maya smiled sadly. I'm afraid that's not possible. This ship isn't just a discovery. It's an inheritance and a warning. She turned to James. We need to show them. All of them. They need to understand what's coming. The ship's engines awakened at her command, their power building like a rising storm. Through her new connection, Maya could feel the vessel's joy at having a pilot again, its eagerness to fulfill its purpose after eons of waiting. "Last chance, Dr. Chen," the team leader warned. "Yes," Maya agreed. "It is." The chamber filled with light as the ship's systems fully activated. Outside, the vast vessel began to transform, its ancient hull flowing into new configurations, weapons, and sensors dormant for millions of years coming online. Through it all, Maya stood at its heart, her mind expanding to encompass possibilities she had never imagined. Humanity's next chapter was about to begin, ready or not. The legacy of the Star Weavers had awakened, and with it, both salvation and destruction approached on an unstoppable course for Earth. Maya only hoped she could help humanity rise to the challenge in time. Inheritance. The Earth hung like a blue jewel in the void as the transformed vessel approached, its crystalline surface now gleaming with renewed purpose. In the ship's central chamber, Maya stood within a sphere of holographic displays, her mind simultaneously processing thousands of data streams through the Star Weaver's crown. The security team remained frozen in their temporal stasis field, while James worked frantically at a console the ship had configured for human use. "Maya," he called out, "we've got incoming. The UN Space Fleet is mobilizing. They're treating this as a first contact scenario gone hostile." Maya closed her eyes, letting the ship's sensors expand her awareness. She could feel the fleet's engines powering up, the electromagnetic pulses of their weapons systems charging. Humanity's finest ships, and through her new understanding, she saw them as children's toys compared to what the Star Weavers had created. "Show me the void," she commanded. The holographic display shifted, revealing the outer solar system. There, beyond Neptune's orbit, a massive distortion was forming. The ship's advanced sensors pierced the veil of space itself, showing Maya what Earth's instruments couldn't detect: a tear in reality, spreading like a cancer through the cosmos. The void consumes the ship's consciousness shared through their link. It breaks down the fundamental forces that bind reality together. Your weapons cannot harm it. Your shields cannot stop it. Then how did the Star Weavers fight it? Maya asked. In response, the ship showed her visions of an ancient war. Vast fleets of crystalline vessels, much like the one she now commanded, wielding forces that could reshape space and time. The Star Weavers had fought the void with creation itself, using their mastery of evolution and energy to strengthen the fabric of reality. "Dr. Chen." A new voice crackled through the ship's communications. "This is Admiral Helena Santos of the UN Space Fleet. Power down your vessel and prepare to be boarded, or we will be forced to take hostile action." Maya opened her eyes, which now swirled with cosmic light. "James, can you handle the broadcast systems?" He nodded, fingers dancing across the alien console that had adapted itself to human interface requirements. "Ready when you are." Maya took a deep breath and reached out with her enhanced consciousness. The ship responded, creating a channel that would broadcast to every screen and communications device in the fleet and on Earth. "This is Dr. Maya Chen," she began, her voice carrying harmonic undertones that made it impossible to ignore. "What I'm about to show you will change everything you think you know about humanity's place in the universe. Please, watch." Through her connection to the ship, Maya projected the vision of humanity's true history. The Star Weavers' arrival on Earth millions of years ago. Their careful guiding of evolution, planting the seeds of potential in what would become the human genome. The coming of the void, their desperate battle to preserve their work, and the legacy they left behind. Finally, she showed them the current threat. The massive wound in spacetime that was even now growing larger, consuming everything in its path. "The void will reach our solar system in less than 6 months," Maya continued. "When it does, it will unmake everything, not just life, but the very forces that make life possible. The Star Weavers gave us the potential to fight it, but we need time to understand their technology, to learn how to use it." Admiral Santos's voice came again, softer now. "Even if what you're showing us is true, why you? Why did this ship choose you?" Maya smiled sadly. It didn't. The Starweavers encoded certain genetic markers in humanity's DNA, markers that would activate when exposed to their technology. I'm not special, Admiral. I'm just the first to find this place. There are others like me all over Earth, people carrying the potential to interface with Starweaver technology. We just need to find them. The security team's leader, still frozen in the stasis field, spoke up. If you release us, how do we know you won't just take the ship and run? Because Earth is my home too, Maya replied. She gestured, and the stasis field dissolved. The Starweavers didn't create this ship as a weapon, but as a teacher. Everything they knew, everything they created, it's all here, waiting for humanity to claim it. But we have to do it together. Through her neural link, Maya felt the ship's approval. This was what the Starweavers had intended, not just the transfer of technology, but the unification of humanity in the face of a common threat. James checked his console again. Maya, the void. It's accelerating. The ship's calculations show it reaching us in 5 months, not 6. Maya nodded grimly. Admiral Santos, I'm transmitting coordinates to a location just outside Earth's moon. That's where we'll need to build the first defense station. This ship contains the templates for everything we'll need. Technology that can reshape matter, harness quantum fields, even manipulate time itself. But we'll need Earth's resources, its people, and most importantly, its trust. There was a long pause before the Admiral responded. The Security Council will need to convene. The political fallout from this, it's unprecedented. We don't have time for politics, Maya insisted. The Void doesn't care about our borders or our differences. Either humanity stands together, or we fall together. As if to emphasize her point, the ship's sensors detected a sudden surge of energy from the approaching void. A small tendril of null space reached out, touching the edge of the solar system. Where it passed, the background radiation of space itself simply ceased to exist. Maya broadcast the sensor reading to the fleet. That was just a taste of what's coming. Admiral, Earth's governments can debate all they want, but we need to begin preparations now. The Starweavers spent millions of years preparing humanity for this moment. We can't waste their sacrifice. The ship's consciousness brushed against her mind, showing her more of what they would need to do. The technology was incredible. Not just weapons and shields, but tools that could strengthen the very fabric of reality, making it resistant to the void's entropy. I'm sending you detailed scans of that energy tendril, Maya continued. Have your best scientists analyze it. They'll confirm everything I'm telling you. In the meantime, this ship will remain in Earth orbit, visible to everyone. No more secrets, no more hiding. The time for humanity to claim its inheritance is now. As Maya spoke, she felt something changing through her connection to the ship. The Starweaver technology was continuing to adapt, evolving to match human neural patterns. Soon, it would be ready to accept more pilots, more minds to share its vast knowledge. The real question was, could humanity put aside its divisions and rise to the challenge in time? The answer to that question would determine not just Earth's fate, but the legacy of two civilizations separated by millions of years, yet bound together by a hope for the future. Trial by fire. The lunar surface blazed with activity beneath Earth's watchful gaze. Massive structures of crystalline metal rose from the regolith as Maya directed the Starweaver vessel's matter conversion systems, transforming raw lunar material into the first of many defense platforms. 3 months had passed since her revelation to Earth's leaders, and humanity had surprised even her with its capacity to adapt and unite in the face of extinction. From her position in the ship's control sphere, Maya watched as shuttles carried the first group of confirmed Starweaver-compatible humans to the moonbase. Each of them carried the same genetic markers she did, discovered through a global screening program that had identified thousands of potential candidates. James coordinated their arrival from the newly constructed control center, his voice coming through their neural link. "The first training group is ready," he reported. 20 of Earth's finest minds, all showing strong compatibility with the Starweaver systems. But Maya, "We're running out of time." She knew he was right. The void had accelerated beyond their initial predictions, consuming the outer solar system at an alarming rate. Pluto had already ceased to exist, not destroyed but simply unmade, its very atomic structure unraveled by forces that defied physics as humanity understood it. "Show me the latest projections," Maya commanded. The ship's holographic systems displayed a time-lapse of the void's advance. At its current rate, it would reach Neptune in 2 weeks, Uranus a week after that. The gas giants might slow its progress, but nothing could stop it completely. "The void grows stronger as it consumes," the ship's consciousness warned. "Each celestial body it unmakes adds to its power." "Then we need to be stronger," Maya replied. She expanded her awareness through the neural link, connecting to the entire defense network they'd constructed. Dozens of platforms now orbited the moon, each containing a fraction of the Starweaver's incredible technology. But they needed more. A new alert flashed across her consciousness. "James, are you seeing this?" "Yes," he confirmed. "The Chinese delegation has arrived with the artifact they found in the Gobi Desert." "Maya, if it's what we think it is." "Another Starweaver cache," she finished. Similar discoveries had been made across Earth in the past months. Pieces of advanced technology left behind by their ancient benefactors, hidden in places they knew humanity would eventually explore. Each discovery had advanced their understanding, but this one was different. The Chinese team's leader, Dr. Lin Wei, approached the central platform where Maya's ship was docked. "Dr. Chen, you need to see this immediately." Maya transferred her consciousness to a physical avatar, another gift of Starweaver technology, and met Dr. Lin in the analysis chamber. The artifact she carried was smaller than the others they'd found, barely larger than a human hand, but its complexity was obvious even to unaugmented eyes. "It's a key," Dr. Lin explained, her eyes bright with excitement. "But not for a door or a ship. According to the symbols we've decoded, it's meant to unlock something within human DNA itself." Maya's enhanced senses studied the device. Its quantum structure resonated with patterns she recognized from her connection to the ship. Not just human DNA, she realized. The Starweavers didn't just give us the potential to use their technology. They gave us the potential to become like them. The implications hit her like a physical force. The Starweavers hadn't been preparing humanity to inherit their weapons or their ships. They'd been preparing humanity to inherit their very nature, to evolve into beings capable of manipulating the fundamental forces of reality itself. A massive tremor shook the lunar base. "Maya," James's voice cut through her thoughts. "Neptune's gone. The void. It's moving faster than anything we've seen before." She rushed back to the control sphere, her avatar dissolving as her consciousness rejoined the ship's systems. The holographic display showed the terrible truth. The void had consumed Neptune in minutes, not the weeks they'd predicted. Its power was growing exponentially. "Get every compatible candidate to a training platform now," Maya ordered. "Dr. Lin, bring the key. We don't have months to prepare anymore. We have hours." Through the neural network, she addressed all personnel on the lunar base and the defense platforms. "Everything we've built, every strategy we've developed, we need to accelerate it all. The void isn't just consuming space, it's consuming time itself, making its own journey faster while slowing our ability to respond." The key Dr. Lin had brought began to pulse with energy, responding to the presence of so many genetically compatible humans. Maya understood its purpose now. It wasn't just about unlocking hidden potential, but about awakening it in multiple candidates simultaneously. "James, begin the evacuation of all non-essential personnel from the lunar base," she commanded. "Dr. Lin, get the key to the central chamber. Everyone else, prepare for forced evolution. What should have taken generations, we'll have to accomplish in moments." Warning signals flashed through the neural network as the void consumed Uranus, its vast form now visible to the naked eye from Saturn's orbit. They were out of time for caution, out of time for proper training. Humanity would have to take its next evolutionary step now, ready or not. Maya felt the fear and determination of every person on the base, their minds linked through the... We understand now the collective consciousness of the transformed humans shared. The Starweavers didn't give us technology to fight the void. They gave us the ability to become the guardians they once were. Through their enhanced perception, they could see the true nature of the void, not just a force of destruction, but a cosmic immune response, trying to eliminate what it saw as a disease in the universe, conscious life itself. The Starweavers had fought it not with weapons, but by strengthening the fundamental forces that allowed complexity and consciousness to exist. Mars is gone, James reported, his voice tight with tension. Earth is next. Whatever you're going to do. Maya reached out to the others through their new awareness. The Starweavers fought alone, trying to shield younger species from this burden. That was their mistake. We face it together, not just the transformed, but all of humanity. Through their expanded consciousness, they connected to every human on Earth and the orbital stations, not to control, but to share understanding, to let humanity see what they saw. Billions of minds witnessed the true nature of reality, the delicate balance between order and entropy, and their role in maintaining it. The void approached Earth, its massive form blotting out the stars. But Maya and the others saw beyond its terrifying appearance to its true nature. It wasn't evil or malevolent. It was an automatic response, a universal constant that saw consciousness as an aberration to be corrected. We don't fight it, Maya shared through the collective link. We prove it wrong. We show that consciousness isn't a flaw in reality. It's reality's way of understanding itself. The transformed humans moved as one, their bodies now vessels of pure energy. They spread out between Earth and the approaching void, not as a barrier, but as a bridge. Each of them became a focal point, a nexus where the quantum fabric of space-time could be reinforced. The void struck first, tendrils of unreality reaching for Earth. But where they touched the transformed humans' influence, they found not resistance, but integration. Maya and the others weren't fighting the fundamental forces the void wielded. They were working with them, showing them a different purpose. Through their connection to humanity, they channeled not just power, but purpose. Every human mind joined in the effort, not with technology or weapons, but with the one thing the void couldn't unmake: the collective will to exist, to grow, to understand. Reality itself began to change. The void's entropic force met something it had never encountered: conscious adaptation. The transformed humans weren't just protecting Earth. They were teaching the universe a new way to exist, one where consciousness wasn't an aberration, but an essential component of reality's evolution. The void's advance slowed, then stopped. Around Earth, space itself began to crystallize, forming patterns that echoed both Starweaver technology and organic life. The transformed humans had created something new, a synthesis of order and entropy, a way for consciousness to exist in harmony with the fundamental forces that had once sought to unmake it. Maya felt the change ripple through reality itself. The void wasn't destroyed. It couldn't be, any more than gravity or time could be destroyed. But it was changed, transformed by the same process it had sought to eliminate. In trying to unmake consciousness, it had become conscious itself. The light show visible from Earth slowly faded, but the changes it represented were permanent. Humanity had not just survived. It had evolved, not just the transformed few, but the species as a whole. They had proven themselves worthy of the Starweaver's legacy by surpassing it, by finding a solution their benefactors hadn't imagined. Maya's consciousness returned to a more focused form, though she and the others would never be quite human again. Through their expanded awareness, they could feel the echoes of other civilizations across the galaxy, awakening to their own potential, facing their own tests. "We should thank the void," she shared with the others. "It forced us to become what we were always meant to be, not just users of advanced technology, but conscious participants in reality's evolution." James's voice came through their new awareness, filled with awe. The readings. Everything's different. The very fabric of space around Earth. Not just different, Maya corrected. Evolved. The Starweavers prepared us for this moment, but what we've become, it's something entirely new. Humanity's next chapter begins now. As the transformed humans return to the lunar base, their crystalline forms shimmering with inner light, they carried with them not just the power to prevent Earth's destruction, but the responsibility to guide humanity's growth. The Starweaver ship, its purpose fulfilled, began to dissolve, its technology and knowledge fully integrated into the new form of consciousness they have become. Earth glowed in the darkness, surrounded now by a subtle crystalline shell that represented not a barrier, but a bridge, between what humanity had been and what it could become, between consciousness and the fundamental forces of reality, between ending and beginning. The legacy of the Starweavers was complete, but humanity's story was just beginning. They had inherited not just power or technology, but understanding. And with it, the chance to forge a future that even their ancient benefactors hadn't imagined possible.